Michele Molitor, we're so grateful to have you in the spotlight today. We thank you all that you've done as a member of Boss Academy, as a contributor. You're an incredible mindset coach, but also hypnotherapist. And I think the work you do is so important because I know you're helping a lot of people overcome their challenges. So, what are the outcomes your clients get working with you?
The work that I do, Paul, works both at a conscious and a subconscious level. So I literally help people rewire their neural pathways, which is why I call my work rapid rewiring. And the outcomes that people get are subtle and profound shifts and how they see themselves, which then impacts how they show up in the world. They find greater confidence within themselves, greater peace and calm in their nervous system, which then gives them greater clarity on how they are approaching their work, their life, their relationships, so that they have more joy, they have greater balance and well-being. Oftentimes, the limiting beliefs that we're holding about ourselves, either consciously or subconsciously, actually impacts our physiology. And emotion, one of my favorite quotes is from Dr. Henry Maudsley, who is a psychologist, and it goes, emotions that cannot find their vent in tears will cause other organs to weep. And so if we are not processing our emotions, the big T traumas and the little T traumas that we've experienced in life, that all gets stuffed in our physiology. And eventually it's got to come out some way. When you're able to change those beliefs, oftentimes a person's physiology can have dramatic changes. I've had clients who've had chronic IBS for 10, 15, 20 years, and it has turned off, literally. Or chronic migraines have significantly diminished. Chronic back pain has gone away. I know that for even in my own life, that's what happened with me. When I was able to do that deeper work, my back pain went away. So it's really profound work that allows you to then do your life more successfully, more joyfully, and with greater peace of mind.
What motivates you to do it? Why do you do it?
We all have stuff that we've overcome. I've learned on my journey that our greatest source of pain is often our greatest source of passion and purpose in the world. And I got bullied out of my high-tech career. I was a creative director and graphic designer in my former life. And it was devastating to me. It crushed my confidence. It created a massive case of imposter syndrome, and would give me panic attacks. The thought of being rejected was so great. Handing my resume to anybody was just terrifying to me. But it's what led me to coaching. And so I literally pivoted my career after getting laid off twice in a year, and then 9/11 happening. It's like the universe kind of shook me by the shoulders, like, no, not that. Look over here. So I got trained and certified as a coach, and I've been doing it for 23 years now, and added hypnotherapy to the mix in 2016, 17, somewhere in there. So it's been a joyful ride, an interesting ride, a challenging ride, but I wouldn't change it.
To close us out, can you please give us a sense of what it's like for people to work with you?
Sure. So I work with folks in different ways, primarily one-to-one, but I have some group offerings, and then I also work with corporate teams. But in the one-to-one work, which we're mostly talking about here, essentially, we start with a deep dive intake session so I can understand what's not working for you. And I can listen for what's in the unsaid, and I can sense into where that pain and that emotions are stuck in your system. I'm extremely intuitive. And so I get guided through these conversations, and that helps pave the way for what are the areas that we need to dive more deeply into. And so typically I work with folks over a 3, 6, 9 month period. And during that time, we'll have a series of hypnotherapy sessions and coaching sessions. So we're kind of toggling between those. And the hypnotherapy sessions, everything's done over Zoom. Those are about 90 minutes to 2 hours long. And all we're doing is you're allowing yourself to go into a very relaxed state of being. It's an alpha brainwave state, that half awake, half asleep place, like when you first woken up from a nap and you're like, oh, this is so relaxing, but I don't want to move. But I can, you're aware of what's happening. So you're always in control. But it allows me access to talk to your subconscious mind more easily. And in that way, in that space, we're able to get at the root causes of the beliefs that you're holding about yourself that are creating these mental, emotional, physical blocks. We're not reliving trauma. This is not, it's not talk therapy where you go back into the past in that full detail, but you're getting at the essence of it. So then you can literally change your mind about it and start to rewire your thinking. So what comes out of each hypnotherapy session is what I call a transformation recording. It's about 30 minutes. It's the last portion of our session together. And I take all the information that I've received from you in the session, out of the session, and weave it into this recording. And it's me gently talking to your subconscious mind, dropping in new habits, thoughts, beliefs to help your mind, heart, spirit, and body heal, and then step into new empowering beliefs so that as you listen to it each night, as you go to sleep and you're drifting off and it's just washing over your subconscious mind, that's what's literally building the new neural pathways in your brain. So over a period of a few weeks, as you're listening to this first recording, you start to show up a little differently. I had one client who's married to her husband for 30 plus years. He's like, what'd you do? You're taller. So people really start to shift in how they're holding themselves and how they're showing up in their life. And this toggled with the coaching sessions then allows us to look at life without the fear blinders on. And now what do I want to do? How do I want to move forward now? So like taking what Linda shared with us a little while ago, then they can start getting into action because they've gotten unstuck. They're not frozen. And then they can really start moving into their life with greater ease and joy.
Love it. Michele Molitor, thank you so much for everything you do for Boss Academy. We're really grateful to have you as a member, and I know the contributions you've given us have made an impact on many of us, and there's more to come. So thank you so much for being in the spotlight today.
Thank you, Paul. It's my sincere pleasure to be here. You all are such a beautiful community, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I've gained so many wonderful friends and colleagues from this group. Paul, I was thinking about this morning and how it has really made a big change in my life as well. So thank you for the amazing work that you do and bringing us all together.